Welcome to chapter 18. In this chapter, we're having another look at the conditional clauses. We have at this point only met so-called factual conditional clauses. If you do this, then why? When we have a straightforward, realizable condition and the effect. Now we're looking at counterfactual conditional clauses when condition is either it was not satisfied and the train has left the station, or it is unlikely to be satisfied. So like Ichan Tuleshkin, Miyatulam, if Ichan comes, then I will also come, straightforward. But so this is a factual one. But if I say Ichan Tolesh Ilegen with this Ile was Miyat Tolam Ile, and this is then if Ichan had come, I would have also come, or if Ichan would come, I would also come. But either Ichan, the time has passed and Ichan didn't come, or I just assume that Ichan is not coming. So because he didn't come, I did not come. Yeah. Or because he's probably not coming, I'm probably not coming. If it sounded like I was indecisive in my translation of this clause, that's because I was. That's because it is ambiguous. If we have a sentence like Anna, Sereshim, Nalesh, Ilegen. So if Anna gets the letter, or I got the letter or so, Peshivata would be very happy. This could be either be if Anna would get the letter, she would be happy. It could be if Anna had gotten a letter, she would be happy, but she didn't get the letter, so she didn't get to be happy. Or if Anna had gotten a letter, she would have been happy. Like these temporal aspects that we distinguish in English in these cases, it's not there in Mari. It has to be communicated from context. Okay, yeah, but the critical thing is that we have ile that we put all after both elements here conventionally. Then we are meeting the gerund or converb of prior action, and I always have a hard time wrapping my head around prior action, what it means. Remember it as the after converb. That's the easiest way because that's what it means after. This has the ending meke, either mek or meke. No vowel harmonic alternation. It's always this. And yeah, we attach this to the stem, and you know what's happening now, what's going to happen. Oh, stem simplifications. Yeah, and the this possessive, this converb can take possessive suffixes, all 6 of them. And that's then just like after my eating or so, after I ate. Kochmekem, kochmeked. Careful in the third singular. Here we have 2 forms because here we can either attach it to the long form or the short form. Kochmek, kochmeke, and it's then either kochmeke makes kochmekeje, kochmek makes kochmekshe. Although in the other persons, we only attach things to the long form. This is an idiosyncratic aspect in the third person singular. And in theory, we could also, given in parentheses here, have with the genitive the personal pronoun. But you only do this if you really want to stress it for like contrast or something like, well, after I eat, I never take a nap or whatnot. Yeah, so here we see some examples showing the person marking, where you can see it's either with person marking can happen with a possessive suffix, like here after I finished a university. It can be with a genitive marked pronoun or also noun, and the possessive suffix, or just with a genitive marking. This is what's conventional for animate nouns and pronouns. If we have something inanimate, like a herd, okay, I mean, it consists of animate elements, but it's considered an inanimate thing. Then we just have the nominative, and then the gerund with no possessive suffix after the herd comes. So we have a different system of person marking depending on the person that we're in. It is, however, also possible for animate nouns to have this, that we have just the nominative and then the unmarked converbial form. But usually you would not have kutun tolmekeje with the genitive of an inanimate noun. Mari in general doesn't like to form genitive forms of inanimate nouns. Yeah, and the important thing about the after converb, the make converb, this applies to all the converbs, is it's a relative it's used for relative temporal structuring. Küçü tolmeke, after the herd comes, te kush kayeda, where will you go? Küçü tolmeke, after the herd came, te kush kayeshta, where did you go? The temporal value of this can only be correctly understood by its relation to the clause that it modifies. And the fact that you have converbs like this used for temporal structuring, this is why Mari does not need like a traditional past perfect after I had done this or so. You've got converbs for that. You don't need complex temporal forms. Yeah, and we're ready. We have met these temporal postpositions with dechvara. That's well, fairly comparable in usage. Lekme, dechvara, lekmeke. The factors differentiating these two are not tangible and trivial. Okay, next point in the grammar. We have already met in past chapters. We have met plural suffixes like vlak and shamich. Cats, we have met the et al associative plural, pyrismut, cat, et al, cat and friends. And now we're meeting a new one, the plural suffix la, where if we have like ola, a city, we can attach la onto it to a plural form. And that is usually used in spatial constructions. Ola lashte is in the city. It's basically a faster way of saying ola vlakishte, in a more elegant way. And you usually only find it with the case suffixes and with spatial adverbs like olalagich from the cities. But you will also find some Mari authors who intentionally, I want to say, use la in situations where you generally would expect vlak or shamich. But that seems to be a conscious choice, that there was really a push for Mari among the Mari, especially back in the 70s or so, to try to push la as a universal plural suffix for all Mari dialects, because you have this great variation when it comes to plural suffixes in different Mari dialects. Okay. Here you have some usage examples. Yeah, and watch along for the discussion on it. There's something strange happening with the possessive suffix third person plural, when we sometimes have it used in cases where it looks like it is marking not the plurality of the possessor, but the plurality of the possessed. And I can't claim to really have grasped what is going on here. Maybe I at some point will have more information to share on the topic. Words and word usage, what is happening? Okay, ik and ik at, not a single blah. We discussed this already when we were looking at negative pronouns and adverbs in a previous lesson. That if we can say ik tat koden ogel, that's ikte one plus is at, and that's like and one didn't stay, not even one stayed, not a single one stayed. But I can also have ik and then a noun, and then if necessary case suffixes, and then this at to say not a single of, like I don't understand one single word. Ik moet hem at omomelo. Okay, multi-part directional adverbs. I don't have much to say here. These are just some more forms that you have to learn that fall into the system that we have seen in the last few lessons about the unproductive row used for some spatial adverbs and postpositions. An important one is kokla. This now uses the productive endings, but kokla, it's like the interval, the room in between. But this is the basis of three very commonly used postpositions in Mori. Koklashte, the no motion one, in the middle of, between, among. This is also often used like in a figurative sense, like among the people of this village or something like that. Koklagich, from among the people in this village, who knows how to play the violin or whatnot. And koklashke, yeah, into the middle, into the midst of a group or so. Yeah, here you see a few usage examples of that. Toshto, shongo, both of these words are translated as old. They are not synonymous. Basically, shongo old is the opposite of samarik, young. So if somebody is not young, but old, then that person is shongo. Toshto, on the other hand, is the antonym, the opposite of new. Something that is not new is old, toshto. You would sometimes find this in sources described as that shongo is used for animates and toshto is used for inanimates. That's not entirely correct, because you could have like a yoltash, friend, and you can have a shongo yoltash and a toshto yoltash. Both of them mean old friend, but a shongo yoltash is a friend of yours who has really gotten up there age-wise, and a toshto yoltash is a friend with whom you have shared a bond of friendship for a long time, but you're not actually shaming them for their age. Yeah. So this is actually, again, something where it might seem weird if you're coming from English, but who's to say that more is weird, not English? That English, why do we distinguish between new and young, but don't distinguish between not new and not young? Jap, paget, both meaning time. Here you can look at the discussion in the long form video, basically trying to find the delimitation between these two terms. Very hard to do. That even when we have references to seasons like the springtime, the summertime, and whatnot, it's different from season to season. So like for autumn, people tend to say shijijap, the autumn time, but for shosho, the spring, people tend to say shosho paget. It seems to be influenced also, if you ask me, a bit by just what sounds better. Okay, some homonyms to learn to be careful about. Optash, to place, to set. Optash, to bark. Completely the same conjugation class, but mean two different things. To put to place, but can also be to pour water. And yeah, a dog that's barking. What else can I say? Motor, silne. Both of these are translated as beautiful. Silne, we could also translate as handsome, maybe. They are fairly similar in usage, but if we look at the corpus, if we look at the collocations, what most commonly occurs with these, we would see that motor, the most common one is a beautiful girl. If we look at silne, however, the most beautiful one, the most common thing is muro. Okay, handsome song, you wouldn't say, but it's like a pretty song or so. But if we go down this list here, we'll have, okay, song still, silne detch, like from, this is not useful because it's not noun, but here we have silne Marie, a beautiful man. So it's like, this is the more feminine kind of beauty, and this is more masculine kind of beauty. Add a bunch of quotation marks around masculine and feminine here. We already had that. Why was that here? Whoops. Okay. Both of these words mean child. Can't give you any straightforward information on the distribution of these two one another at this point. You just accept them as synonyms for now. And in the text, we are now in the harvest season, and we're hearing about all the stuff that is done during the harvest season. And if you, like me, grew up in a more urban environment, you might have a bit of a hard time identifying with all the stuff that is happening. I've oftentimes in the classes that I've taught had one student or so from Styria, a more rural part of Austria, who then says, well, this is obvious what is happening here, and starts explaining. Okay. And then you can go through the exercises, which we have a lot of them on the video this week. And then you can listen to the song of the week. The song of the week this week is called Kol, which might mean the imperative form of kolash, first conjugation, to hear. So hear as an instruction, or it could mean fish. Which one is it? Well, you've got to watch the video to find out. See you next week.